Hello? Okay. Hello? Right. Hello, can anyone hear me?
I'm not hearing anything over video.
Oh, the echo's back again.
Right, so it is me causing the echo.
Is it you causing the echo? Yes, it is.
Okay, testing. Testing. And once again, I'm back.
Oh,
No, still echoing.
still there, sorry.
Am I coming through? Okay. I am coming through. Testing, testing. Okay.
Test.
Testing. Can you hear me?
There's no echo when you're in Discord. It's just
Okay.
says
Okay. That's something. Weird, but that's something. All right. Well, in case those of you who are watching are wondering where the heck we all are, at the moment, sadly, there appears to be a problem with Discord, and Discord themselves have actually logged the problem, saying that there is an issue with their API. Normally, I would just switch to Jitsi, but at the moment, Jitsi is causing a echo, basically, of everybody else. So we're just switching everybody back to Discord to see if we can at least have the Discord channel hold out. So here's hoping. So we will be getting started shortly as soon as everybody comes in. We only have one who is not coming in through on Discord at the moment. We'll see if he gets here.
I don't know that I'm getting anything over Video Ninja. If you don't know, there's just nothing playing.
There is something playing, but let me turn it up.
Yes, thank you.
How loud is that?
Basically, any quieter and I couldn't hear it.
Okay. Alrighty. So sound effects might be a little bit loud tonight, but that's fine. It's fine.
Everything will be fine.
First world problems, as they say. Looks like Webby.
All will be well.
I was almost not going to have power tonight.
Oh,
With 2 hours in.
blimey.
Third world problems.
Well, criminy.
So long as it's not
See,
second world problems, because that's kind
See-
of serious at the moment.
I'm allergic to cats. I called that third Earth problems. And I'm now feeling very old.
You
What's
can
the third rock?
Well, give it time. So, oh, nope. We've got a Webby. Do we have a Webby?
Webby, if you can hear us, stay silent now. That's good.
Hello.
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh, he can't hear us. Goddamn.
All right then. Can you hear us all right, Webby? Can you interact?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Oh,
Okay. Smashing. So hopefully Discord will stay with us, at least in voice channel, and we'll be okay. Right, so before we start, can everybody hear what's going on over Video Ninja?
Yes.
Spiffing! Alrighty.
Yes, no, I've got to wear 2 sets of headphones.
Oh dear. First world problems. Alright then. Well, welcome back everybody to the adventures of the USS Navis. We are on episode, what are we now, 3? Episode 3, Footfall.
Part 2.
Episode 3, part 2. Yes, bum bum bum. Right then.
Come on then, Marjorie. I want your best voice. Previously on Star Trek Navis.
I can't.
The Bravo bomb!
The Bravo bomb. Yes!
Interesting facts about Moss. Something
Interesting.
to do with some planet with faith and stuff, but mostly
Interesting is a strong word.
Yes, so
Yes.
last week we
almost as
discovered...
strong as the power of Moss.
Last week we discovered that pretty much nobody is as interested in flora as Dr. Bertram. At least on the USS Navis. Maybe if we were on a botany ship it might be different. However, the Navis was called to assist with a potential diplomatic incident on the planet of Ashgrave IV, known to its inhabitants as Footfall. The planet's quite unique, amongst others that have been colonized by the Federation and others, in that every visitor who visits the planet feels an overwhelming presence of what can only be described as divinity present on the planet. Hence why the majority, if not the totality, of the colonists who call Footfall home are all from various different species and various different spiritual movements and faiths who came to the planet and stayed on the planet in order to feel closer to whatever divinity they follow or worship or what have you. But of late, a certain specific group of these colonists, calling themselves the Voice of Purity, have started a campaign of nuisance, where they have recently started engaging in vandalism of several of the colony's businesses and facades of houses and whatnot. So Commander Chahal, Indira Chahal, who is the Federation, not exactly in charge of the colony, but she is more like the Federation administrator, you might say, of the colony, who has called in for assistance from Starfleet to hopefully convince the Voice of Purity to stop their actions before they cause greater harm, especially because there are so many representatives from so many different worlds. The main issue with the Voice of Purity, of course, being that they are saying to all the other faiths and all the other colonists that their way is wrong and everyone has to convert to the way of the Voice of Purity, or apparently they risk some kind of wrathful event from God, whoever or whatever that turns out to be. So, an away team led by the Navis's XO, Commander Linares Loss, has gone down to the planet, accompanied by Dr. Bertram, Lieutenant Natala. I believe Lieutenant Nova's down there as well. Yes, she is. And we are bringing on the Bravos. So for those not in the know, Star Trek Adventures does offer the option of creating supporting characters, which are like background characters that can be brought in when your main character shouldn't or won't or can't go down on certain away missions. So in this case, the chief engineer is staying back, as is the helmsman, as is the second officer. So rather than have 3 players sit back and do nothing, each player now gets to control one of the secondary supporting characters. So if I remember, Jan, you're Commander Linares, the XO, and
Yes.
Webby, you were going with Lieutenant Bravo from Security.
Yes, I was going to discuss this tonight actually, because of the fact that the away mission has become more heated.
Mm-hmm.
That there may be a request to send in additional security personnel.
Okay.
At which point it'd be kind of like, yeah, Andrews should probably turn up now.
Okay. So, what I can do then in that case, that makes a certain amount of sense. So, we have an option here. So let me quickly switch us over to where we were going to start. Now, the end of last episode, the away team had managed to actually locate the place where the Voice of Purity used to live, and tracking life signs to a nearby abandoned mine, the away team was attacked by a group of weird creatures who, for all intents and purposes, looked very much like the archetypal idea of demons. Indeed, they appeared out of nowhere. They were all hatred and wrath and trying to kill the away team, setting upon them with their claws and their teeth, and then all of a sudden members of the Voices of Purity arrived and started aiding the away team and brandished their holy symbols and catechisms of faith at the demons, which seemed to actually destroy the demons. So the away team has been invited into the caverns inside of the abandoned mine, where the Voice of Purity are now offering to assist with any medical needs that the away team may have. So, Webby does bring up a good point. If this is escalated to the point where the away team are actually being attacked, then it would make a great amount of sense that the away team, before or as they're being assisted into the cavern, would call up to the Navis for help. So I am perfectly fine with Andrews coming down. So this does broach the interesting point now of Navis as our newest player. There are 2 possible supporting characters to... John has just posted something very long.
I just did my own summary.
Your own summary, cool. So, Navis, originally my intention was to, like Webby has said, assistance from the Navis would have been called down, so I was going to give you the option of maybe playing a medical supporting character who's come down to assist with treating wounds, but you have the option now of either playing the summoned medical character or to have Lieutenant Bravo, the security officer that Webby was playing last time.
I'm quite happy with playing Nurse Bravo for this one. So.
Okay.
Nurse Bravo, another one.
Yes. So anybody who's watching who's not in on the joke, we did actually come up with a set of quintuplets who are all betazoids and are all telepaths. So there are 5 members of the Navis crew, each of them in different departments. They're all betazoids, they're all quintuplets, and they tend to refer to themselves singularly in the plural, because they're so used to being around their siblings. They tend to consider themselves separate yet also whole as one. So, yes. And as before, this totally is not a ploy for me to use the same token images on different characters.
Lies.
He
Lies.
says...
So there may be a potential twist on or relationship on the horizon between all of the Bravos and one of Natala's proteges, one Ensign Keval.
Yes, but we'll get to that some other time. So, let me take us out of the bridge night shift background ambience and switch us over to Amongst the Faithful. So, the away team finds themselves inside a cave system. And there's water, and there's some very basic living going on in here. And members of the Voices of Purity are, of course, around on various beds and simple pallets and whatnot. Now, 2 of the away team actually suffered minor but still needing to be treated wounds, because the rules as written give an indication that if you take 5 stress or more from one single attack, then you gain an injury. So, at the moment, Lieutenant Bravo from Security has suffered a lacerated calf and is therefore limping because Demon managed to pretty much rip out his leg from underneath him. Commander Linaris, the XO, has also got a lacerated chest because he took quite a heavy blow from a demon as well. So now that the adrenaline has worn off, the presence of these injuries are now starting to make themselves known. Lieutenant Nova, however, even though she lost some stress, did not lose so much in one go that she incurred an injury. She just has a couple of bruises here and there, especially from that amazing maneuver she pulled off when she did a running diving elbow, or whatever the heck it was, on one of the demons. So, Lieutenant Bravo, for an operations officer, showing that she's not afraid to get in on the mess. And seems to have a tendency to scale surfaces in order to launch herself off of them.
Yeah, she came in with a Nova suit, with a Novaplex.
I think it was more like the diving Nova bomb. So, yes. We'll have to ask for that in the. Maybe that's something we can ask for in chat, is to see if somebody can come up with an appropriate theme song for Lieutenant Nova. But
I'd like to point out that the World Wildlife Fund, maybe an interesting theme to.
Yes, World Wrestling Entertainment lost that particular lawsuit. I wonder why. Anyway. Moving swiftly
Just too skilled with those steel folding chairs.
Not skilled enough, obviously. So, yes, Lieutenant Commander Andrews, the second officer and head of security, and Nurse Bravo have beamed down in order to assist with the situation as it has now developed. And you find yourselves within the caves. The nearest member of the Voice of Purity, this fine-looking gentleman by here, is ushering you all further in.
Out of interest, well, obviously I don't know the actual whole bit of what's been going on, but does this kind of room have the similar kind of vibe as, or the cave have similar kind of vibe as outside?
Definitely.
So the kind of, yeah.
So that whole presence of the divine thing is still very much here. It hasn't increased or lessened, it's just there.
Am I right remembering that there's no real way to heal up people before we get them back to sickbay?
Yeah, you've got medical tools, so you can now do medical checks to try and heal their injuries. Everybody who's lost stress, however, can feel free to put your stress levels back up to full again, because you'll be considered... this is a different scene, so you tend to recover stress between scenes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go. So I will do Bravo. So, Lieutenant Bravo, security, and the XO himself, Commander Linaris, are both in need of medical assistance.
Okay. Did either of them seem to be injured worse than the other, or were they about the same?
More or less the same. If the fight had gone on any longer, it might have been a different matter.
Yeah, it's probably going to be start with the XO.
Okay, whereas Nurse, yeah. Well, Nurse Bravo can see to his brother, whilst the doctor, the chief medical officer, can see to the XO. So from both Nurse Bravo and Dr. Bertram, I would like you to give me, let's see, these are going to be insight plus medicine checks, please. Davis, are you aware of how to use your character sheet?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, okay, groovy. So remember the yellow button, perform task.
Do I get to...
Oh,
that Bravo.
Does surgery allow me to use a focus?
yes, it does. Oh, that's a good point. Nurse Bravo, you have got medical diagnostics, so that wouldn't have really helped there, but... a complication!
And no successes, and we haven't really got the momentum to spend.
Yeah.
One success means that...
Brothers.
Okay,
Bad.
so... One success for Dr. Bertram means that you
If it
use
helps as
the dermal
well,
regenerator.
I've got,
Yeah.
sorry. I've got field medicine,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that helps or not as a talent, but I thought I'd mention it.
So if you want to, let's see, field medicine. When attempting a medicine task, you may ignore any increase in difficulty for working without the proper tools. So yeah, that's neither there nor here nor there for the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, you managed to use the dermal regenerator to, to remove the injury from the XO. So Jan, feel free to delete the lacerated chest injury from the XO's character sheet. Meanwhile, sadly, it seems that Lieutenant Bravo's injury appears to have become infected. He is probably going to need to be transported back to the ship.
I don't think this one's going well. I might need a second opinion.
Once I've done with loss, I'll sort of push my way through to help Bravo with Bravo.
Okay, so the actual one, Bravo, yeah, let me move him back, is... We're just jumping around all over the place.
Fusion! Ha! Okay, I'll move myself back here then.
Okay, so Lieutenant Bravo security, yeah, he's... The cut was actually a lot deeper than it looked. Or Lieutenant Bravo was just being tough and saying that, it was less bad than it was. Turns out, though, that not only has it become slightly infected, so it will need treating with antibiotics or the 24th century equivalent, but there might also be some damage to the tendon. So the dermal regenerator will have a little bit less easy of a time just fixing the problem, so he's probably going to need transporting back up to the ship.
Right.
So that would probably be a good reason to have Lieutenant Bravo, who's not currently being controlled by anyone, just get beamed back to the ship.
Okay, I'll contact the ship and request that Lieutenant Bravo be beamed up and sent straight to sick bay to have the medical team work on it.
Here we go. Off he goes. All right. So the rest of you, yes, you find that there is basic living conditions in here. And, yeah, the voices of purity as people, they seem very welcoming. And one of them, which is this fellow over to the right here, next to Lieutenant Natala, who was one of the first people to emerge from the caves when you guys were busy with the demons. He kind of beckons you onwards, saying, Annalisa will be so pleased to meet you. She's just over here, this way.
We're very grateful for the assistance.
Well, we're more than happy to offer the assistance.
What did you use on those things?
Faith. Annalisa, look who's here. And sure enough, there is A woman occupying this area over here. And she gets up and greets you. Starfleet! Oh, I'm so glad to see you. My people mentioned something about demons outside. Is everybody all right?
Yes, thank you. If it wasn't for your assistance, things might have gone very wrong. But
Well,
fortunately, your people assisted us. I mean, we're very grateful, but I have to confess we're all very confused as well. If you could perhaps explain, if possible.
I will do my best, but it seems to me that it's fairly evident what went on. God is running out of patience, it seems. Such a shame.
You've not met those things before?
We were told that such agents of retribution may come if the message is not acted upon soon enough. Sadly, it seems this has started to happen. Can't say we didn't warn you. This is a shame. I assumed this was why you'd come here.
How did the information come to you?
God told us.
I do find it very convenient or coincidental that the message seems to be taking an aggressive turn as we arrive to investigate. Can you explain that?
I suppose my best explanation would be providence. Your arrival synchronous.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what form does the word of God take to you? For example, in the case of the commander here, there are orbs and such from which prophecies are given. That's my understanding. Is there a similar location or manifestation here?
Oh, well, certainly. But in order to see that, well, no offense, but God does not know the sincerity of your faith yet. See, I can understand where you're coming from. I can. Honestly. I was like you once. Well, if the commander here believes in another power, then that's fine. I didn't used to. Like so many other people, I was empty, unfulfilled. Unlike yourselves, of course, you chose a career in Starfleet. Me? I grew up to wealthy parents. There was nothing I didn't want. My parents were both merchants. We lived very well. We traveled wherever we wanted. Coming here was a simple curiosity. But when I arrived here, you felt it too. I know you have. You're all trying to play like it's not affecting you, but I know it must be, because it affects everyone here. The presence of God. I'd never known anything like it before. Such overwhelming love and divinity. I had to stay. And these people were the ones I chose to stay with. And then God spoke to us. Why us? It appears we were the most deserving of contact. But God is perturbed by the different chaotic prayers that God is hearing. There are just too many discordant voices. The messages are all jumbled. God seeks unity, and a unity of message, a single single faith. And God chose us for whatever reason. It's not my place to question. We tried telling the people that God has chosen us to be their messenger. I don't blame them for laughing at us and turning us away. What proof did we have? We tried inviting people to come with us, to speak or be spoken to by God. But they're also set in their ways that they couldn't accept that there might be a chance that they were wrong. We tried, we appealed, we protested, and in the end, we had to get people's attention. And that was why we embarked upon what we embarked upon, the vandalism. We're not proud of it. It was the last thing we wanted to do, but the situation is now getting desperate, and you yourselves have just experienced why the situation is getting desperate. God is starting to lose patience with waiting for everyone to come around to the message, the one true chosen way, and that's what's going on. Now, you are here, and you have seen the demons yourselves. This has to be a good sign in its own way. If you can spread this message, if you can tell Chahal down in Footfall itself, to tell everybody to come around to the way of the voice of purity, we can save everybody.
You thought that you may not be hearing the voice of God, but the voice of the creator of the things that attacked us, and that it's actually becoming a cult of destruction, and that you're building power to a creature that shouldn't be worshipped?
Any expression of spirituality and faith throughout the galaxy so far has many things in common. And that judgment is one of them.
To quote a famous captain within Starfleet, what does God want with a starship? That was supposedly an omnipotent being. The Q Continuum have been on several occasions have classed themselves of God, but they really miss about destruction and the enjoyment of investigation of other species that they deem lesser than themselves.
I believe there may be something to what Mr. Val is saying, though. There certainly is a presence here, whatever we wish to call it, and it does explain a lot of things if it is in pain due to the variety of beliefs being imposed upon it. And the creatures that we came across, it would make sense if it was drawing on the beliefs of those imposing voices and trying to drawing on those beliefs to find ways to drive away the differing voices to quieten the clamour.
Such a cold and scientific way of looking at it. But in your own way, you and I are speaking the same message, it seems. And I can prove it to you.
So, but if we are talking about God, doesn't this seem to be a very localized God?
The fact that God chose Footfall, of all places, to manifest their will, it's not for me to question. And you are all feeling it.
It does bring a certain joy with it, same as when I developed my empathic abilities. Except more extreme.
I can show you. I can take you to a messenger of God, an angel, if you will, who will tell you what I have told you now.
I would love to meet them.
I would advise caution, Commander.
Indeed. I think we should have a discussion in private before we go anywhere.
Please, you will find no enemies here. feel free to have a conversation amongst yourselves if you wish. I will go and speak with my faithful, and we will await your decision. And she just moseys off. Okay.
So, is there a way um, we can have a passcode or passphrase or some kind of identifier we can use to make sure that whoever goes to greet this emissary and comes back is still themselves or under their own impulse?
We
Uh,
don't think we could
I,
guarantee that that wouldn't be something that would be used regardless, but certainly we could do so.
It'd be best for either one of the betazoids to. I don't know whether you can empathically link on any of us. Either that or my memory engrams are a little fragmented compared to everyone else's, I believe, because I'm part cyborg.
And regardless, we could take, with the medical tricorder, effectively a base reading.
So my tricorder has recordings of the readings I took from the beings that attacked us.
I was
Would
thinking
be-
more of a base reading of our general brain chemistry.
Potentially, I was thinking more along the lines of if we were taken to this angel, be interested to see how their readings compared with the other creatures.
I would fully expect them to be almost entirely the same.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in question.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that hypothesis is fairly likely, that the voices of purity are almost entirely right. And it's just the small differences are important.
We can take scans before they go in and back and just compare them.
We can,
We
yes.
make sure that the scans are sent up to the ship so that they can't be edited here.
Yeah. Yes, we can do that. Which raises the question: who, assuming it's not the entire group, who would actually be going in?
My main concern, Commander, is that if dissenting voices are on a grand scale, what's making this psionic presence so troubled and leading it to causing such a wrathful effect or something in the future, manifesting these demons, as they were saying. Having a disagreement in front of this angel of any kind may provoke it. Those who go, or all of us who go, need to speak with one voice, not disagree in front of one another. Have one person speak for them, which presumably would be yourself. Because if dissension it provokes this thing, then we should not question things in its presence.
I hear what you're saying. However, if this creature seems to be such a strong telepath and or empath, I don't know if we can hide any dissension amongst us from it.
So, what would you like to do?
If we can take all possible precautions to make sure that whoever goes to speak to this emissary is the same people who come out, and that changes in opinion are purely based upon what we observed and not some kind of undue influence, I think then, we can select who should go speak to it. I myself would very much like to go speak to it.
certainly curious about it.
Oh yes, Nova's the curious sort.
Sophia would probably request not to go into it and be more keeping God outside. Because, yeah, God bashing is definitely not her thing.
Dr. Bertram has a thirst for knowledge value that he needs to quench.
Yes. So this, yes, values will definitely be a guide for you. Nurse Bravo, however, being a supporting character, has no values except for those which the player brings to the table. So,
Navis.
Exactly.
Poor Nurse Bravo.
I mean, Natala has already posed her hypotheses, and will wait and see which ones of them are proved true. The theoretical, the first step to discovery is the theoretical being her primary value in this. I don't know whether she needs to be in the room.
It's worth noting that there are about 30 people in this area.
I think the number of people is not nearly as relevant as the being made almost entirely of anger and pain buried underneath the structure.
all right. So it seems to me that there is a plan to send some of the group and to hold some back so that they can then judge whether or not they've been coerced, altered, whatever, manipulated, whatever. So
He's avoiding the word indoctrinated.
Assimilated into this religion.
Barnabas.
yeah, indoctrinated to me would be an apt word, but that's the kind of thing that suggests to me takes time. Because indoctrinated suggests, you know, a re-education, whereas something that's more immediate, coercion.
Was it
kind of thing.
Natala, Andrews, and Bravo staying outside?
Because at the very least,
And
Nova wants to
Bertram.
get a look at it. One of the medical guys should at least go in order to get the biological scans of, if anything.
Yeah.
Bravo
So.
is going to stay back because then that gives us both medical and whatever I can get from Betazoid to confirm people are them, and the ability to relieve them of command and send them up to the brig.
That lies with the chief medical officer, technically, and the XO, but
Well,
yes.
for the most part, it lies with the chief medical officer. But also, if the chief medical officer is one of the compromised, then you just move down the list.
Yes. There is now a list, and he is on it.
I can be overruled, and somebody up there can take control of the situation. But
It's fine. We've got the commanding officer down on the surface. We've got the second officer down on the surface. So if they both get indoctrinated, and the chief medical officer gets indoctrinated, then the chain of command becomes very, very skewed. When the
Get the captain down here!
Yeah, when the captain's relieved of duty, it's like, who's in charge now?
What do
Would
the chief
Nova
medical
and
officer
Bravo know each other enough to be telepathically linked? Like, could they communicate?
It's one of those weird things with Star Trek in that, any episode with Luoxana and Deanna Troi suggests that they can communicate telepathically, but the whole point of Deanna Troi was that she was an empath, not a telepath. So I sometimes wonder if the telepathic communication between mother and daughter in the Next Generation was more from the fact that Luoxana Troi is the telepath and is therefore she's just drawing out what her daughter's saying. So Nova, I'm going to go with being an empath rather than a telepath. You can like put thoughts out.
Yeah.
With the intent that Bravo can pick them up. And Bravo, being a telepath, can then telepathically respond. So it's more like... I picture it more like...
He's in control of it.
Yeah, I picture it more like this kind of weird, almost cartoon situation where Nova like puts a sign, holds a sign up above her head, and it says "Read this" or something. And then Bravo goes, "Read this." Oh, right, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. So Bravo actually responds back, but then Nova has to then put another sign up whenever she's got something new to add. But that kind of thing. And I've just turned this from Star Trek into Warner Brothers cartoons in one fell swoop. Go me. Okay, so in summary, Doc Bertram, Commander Linares, and Lieutenant Nova were all going, whereas Nurse Bravo, Commander Andrews, and Lieutenant Natala were staying, at least here, or staying back a ways. Or are you going to wait to find out where they're going first?
Maybe worthwhile to find out where they're going first before we decide where we're going.
Alrighty. Assuming you indicate that you are ready to talk, Annalisa Duval does come back. Okay. I'm glad, so glad, to hear that you're ready to take this conversation with the messenger. We have a little way to go.
How do we address or her or it?
I've always addressed them as messenger because that's what it claims to be. The place that we can actually talk to it is where Matt looks at his notes and tries to discern what he's looking at. Okay. There is a small mountain pass not far from here that overlooks the nearby terrain. I will take maybe 4 or 5 of my followers so that we may supplicate ourselves before the altar that we have placed there on the hillside, and we will attempt to summon the angel. It's not far, but it's a bit of a walk. So, who's coming?
Are there any sort of rules that we need to abide by?
My followers and I will be engaging in prayer and chanting in order to summon the angel. We would appreciate it if you would remain silent and respectful whilst we summon the angel.
Can we use our tricorders?
If it helps prove the legitimacy of what we are asking, then definitely. You have my permission.
Thank you.
And hopefully, it will bring us all closer to realizing the truth. So, with that, are those who are staying back staying in the mine, or are they just going to be a little bit further back on the hillside?
I would say that we go to the area.
Yeah.
So that we are, if something does go down, we are in a position to assist.
Okay.
I would also, Andrews would also recommend that we keep an open comm line at all times.
Agreed.
And the ship is... Ooh, actually, that's a good question. Do we keep the ship in the loop on an open comm frequency?
I don't see why we wouldn't.
What could be useful also is if the ship focuses some scanners on the area we are going to, see if it picks up anything unusual.
Okay, cool. Right, so who's not going to be engaged with anything? Alright, so along with about, let me see, how many did I give you? 1, 2, 3, 4 of her fellow Voices of Purity, Annalisa leads yourselves on a trek outside of the mine. And it's not far from where the mine is, and you trek up the side of a mountain. Now, the view from here is... I just read Shaun's message. Nice. Wow, that threw me. Because now all I'm thinking of is cheesecake.
When,
So-
when you said the Trek, I just imagined, I started thinking of Mine Trek. Star Trek, but in a mine.
Well, kind of theatre of the mind at this point, almost. But
It's
yes.
going to be a long night tonight, isn't it?
Well, either way, you guys are led up a path which appears fairly well travelled. So let's change the ambience a little bit as you
Lieutenant
trek
Commander
up the mountain.
Andrews, please ask the doctor about Moss when we come back. It's a guaranteed test.
Of course, Commander, I will be delighted to have the conversation about Moss on your return.
Excellent.
Now, you
Actually,
eventually... Sorry.
Was that an order, Commander, or a request?
He's thinking about it.
I'll be merciful and say it's a request.
Very well, Commander. I will follow your request as best as I can.
All right, so...
Bertram mutters under his breath, no respect.
Okay, so the three who are going to engage in commune with the Angel are the three up front. So that's the Commander, the Chief Medical Officer, and Lieutenant Nova. The others will be hanging back. Let's wait till Jan is fully loaded, if he isn't already. So, is everybody on the new map?
Yep.
You're...
Almost.
Almost.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 forward and 3 back. So I don't know if those guys who are hanging back, if that's too close, or if you wanted to be closer, I don't know. You've got free reign to choose where you want to put. Choose a bush, choose a rock, go a bit further back, I don't mind. Do what you're going to do.
Whereabouts are they heading up to?
Well,
Is it-
they
I
are
assume it's
they are
area?
by here, yes, and there appears to be like a small, what is it, a recess, a large natural circular hole in the rock face, close to, basically where they're facing. So the voices of purity are all facing in this direction.
Yeah, Reed's probably line of sight, so you can get line of sight through the tree. But,
Okay. So, the Annalisa and her voices of purity start to kneel. They start to silently pray, and
I have my tricorder up.
so you're not really detecting much. They all appear calm. You're getting the kind of readings that you're used to seeing in people who engage in meditation. So,
Do we?
yep. Go on.
Sorry, do we, or do I detect any change in that feeling of divine presence, or is it still the same?
It's still the same currently. So, at least for now, but after about 10 minutes, something happens. A creature manifests itself. It appears to be an asexual humanoid made of light with flaming wings. It floats above the ground and bathes the area in a soft glow. It's actually so bright that at first you have to shield your eyes in order to let your eyes adjust to get a better look at it.
My tricorder to take readings while I'm shielding my eyes.
Okay, so I will want you to give me a control plus medicine check, Anybody who is analysing with a tricorder can also give me a control plus science check. And anybody who's not doing anything, let's give this task to Davis. This will be your first time using the ship. So what you can do for me, Davis, is if you go to the actors directory in Forge, do you know where that is? Yep. If you go to the folder that says USS Navis crew and ships, there is a...
USS Navis?
if you can find the subfolder that says ships, yes, click on USS Navis. And what we want here is sensors plus science, yes. But when you click perform task, it asks for number of dice in pool. It should have a default to 2. Set it down to 1 because the ship is just assisting.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, we're getting some momentum. Hopefully we might get some momentum from this, guys.
Okay, so let me see. Natala gets 2
That's
successes.
my first one.
You get 2 successes, and 2 successes from the ship as well for a nice big heap of momentum. Boink, boink, boink. And yes, right. Dr. Bertram, your medical tricorder reads that this is indeed a living life form that seemed to coalesce out of nowhere. It doesn't appear to breathe. It doesn't appear to have any kind of internal system.
Yep.
It appears to be a being composed of light. There is mass, however.
Does that make it different for the demons? Because the demons, even though they didn't appear to exist before they materialized, I was reading in internal organs and stuff.
Yes, you
Whereas
were.
This one seems to be, Whereas this one seems to be different. It's made out of light and some sort of indeterminate mass. Is that correct?
That'll be what your tricorder reports. Yes.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Natala, there was an energy surge from pretty much everywhere just before the angel manifested. The energy surge was the exact same type, though in a less massive energetic quantity, I might say, than when the demons were summoned. And the sensors on the Navis report pretty much similar to what both the Doctor and Lieutenant Natala just got. And while this is going on, Annalisa Duval raises up from her kneeling position and says, "Praise to you, messenger of God. We have brought visitors who seek the truth."
I am the voice of God. I am his messenger. What truth do you seek?
So, who wants to go first?
How far does your message need to be spread?
My Lord God requires this to be heard throughout the universe. All must be of one mind, one purpose, one faith.
Those of us that are not in the direct conversation, can we hear this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
yeah.
we're on open comms, aren't we? Yeah.
Yep. But the angel's voice does carry.
When it just said like that, is that I just got a real massive vibes of resistance is futile. We are one.
It's
Like-
funny you should say that because The voice manipulator thing I was choosing was multiple voices as one. So that's as close to the Borg as I'm currently going to get. Looking for anything consistent with known telepathic and empathic beings. They tend to either contain, emit, or attract high levels of neurotransmitters, neuropeptides. Someone's been paying attention to the track tech. Yeah. I'm going to say, if you want to get an answer to that question, you're going to have to spend one of the momentum you earned in order to
Okay with that?
obtain information.
I've got no issues with that.
Go for it.
Okay. Yes, you are detecting the presence of evidence of telepathic activity. Now, at the moment, it's very evident in the Voices of Purity. They have higher levels of these specific neurotransmitters associated with the brain processing telepathic information. This makes a certain degree of sense if they have been in regular contact or been contacted by. And now that everybody is hearing this, there is the presence of everybody in the near vicinity reading the presence of this telepathic contact.
So the communication isn't necessarily coming from where people are looking at this apparent angel at all. It could be being transmitted from anywhere, given that the energy surge that I felt was coming from everywhere.
The energy
Just
surge
shared
definitely
information.
seemed to come from everywhere. Yes. So, what would you like to do?
Is there any? I'm asking. Is
Mhm.
there any place for individuality in this future?
As long as all are of one mind in their worship of God, there is place for all, but all must be of the same path.
And
Those
how
who...
will
Sorry.
how will this path be presented to the faithful?
The faithful are here. Their message must be carried. You are here, receiving their message, and you must spread it to all. God wills that all shall now be of one religion, one spiritual path. All must do so. Time grows short.
What is to happen to people who don't wish to fight against this, but simply wish to live their own way and follow a different path? What will happen to them?
For those who do not heed the warning, for those who do not heed God's loving request, a storm is coming, one that is only a taste of what is to come if the purity of faith cannot be restored.
And with that, pop, it just vanishes.
Oh, I still had a question.
You still had a question. What was the question?
The galaxy is large and there are multiple galaxies. How much time do we have to spread this message throughout the galaxies?
Apparently that
If
was
the time is growing short.
Well, I said... That's interesting. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. As you're... I imagine, since you didn't have a chance to actually ask this of the angel, when the angel disappears, Annalisa Duval and the rest of her followers kind of get up from their kneeling position, and they will take the... The angel said, "You have only limited time, and what is to come is but a taste of what will happen. God needs us to all be of one purpose." And... Boop. That sounded like a...
Looks like Discord's coming back online.
Slowly but surely.
Okay. It's at this point that you actually get a communication from the captain. Navis to away, team.
Commander Linares Loss here.
We're suddenly tracking a weather front that has seemingly come out of nowhere. Scans indicate it is heading towards Footfall Colony. It looks
We just
like...
speak rather literally.
Might have to evacuate.
Scans indicate that there are winds blowing up at about blizzard, if not hurricane force. The weather front manifested itself out of nowhere.
Captain, are we able to confirm whereabouts the weather front started from?
It seems to have manifested 5 miles away, 5 miles outside of the colony's southeastern provinces. A little away from quite away from your position. By the way, you're beginning to actually feel the wind picking up yourselves from here. That storm is moving... Sorry, go on, Jan. I cut you off there.
I don't think we will have time to evacuate. We will need to advise the inhabitants of Footfall to take cover immediately.
I had spoken to Commander Charles about the possibility of preparing for evacuations, but given the information that she was saying, that we might need another half-dozen ships in order to accomplish it.
Duval herself... sorry, go on.
I don't like this situation. It seems a little staged, as if...
That's what I was going to say. Can we check if there's
everything here has been staged?
Yes.
an energy signature at the centre of the storm that matches the demons and the angel?
We are certain to find it.
I am giving you that one for free. The captain confirms that sensor readings detected a large energy surge, especially since you gave them the nod to conduct sensor scans of the area where you were at, so they were still actively scanning the area, so I feel okay about giving
just because
you...
the things aren't real doesn't mean they can't hurt, or indeed do exactly the same damage as if they were. The commander's chest can attest to that.
But think about the kitty that we teleported up, it disappeared and didn't make it to the ship. If there's an energy at the centre causing this, we can transport it out or alter the transporter to disrupt it.
Okay.
We can try.
Doctor says, how long before that storm hits the settlement?
We estimate, at the speed it's moving, you have about 10 minutes.
An estimate of proximity, could we extrapolate from the effect that transporting the creature had, how far away from... No, we do, because it's not relevant to transport. What if it was... At what point did the transporter lock fail to materialise? What was the condition difference?
It made it disappear and got a pattern. That's all that matters.
Exo, I'm giving you leave to use Starfleet authority to encourage Commander Chahal to get as many people of Footfall colony to safety, whether or not that means some kind of shelter or getting themselves to barricade themselves in houses or basements. I don't care. You need to operate with your authority and Starfleet authority to get her to take action. We are finding difficulty with trying to gain a transporter lock on anything in the near vicinity of that storm. We'll be able to give you a site-to-site transport to get you to the colony, but after then, transporters may be difficult, what with the interference the storm front is throwing up.
Would it be worthwhile launching either of the two runabouts? Using the runabout to transport?
Perhaps, but that storm front is moving in very quick, and we risk downing a transport with the wind force.
What about things that can provoke transporter interference? Perhaps if transporting the creature caused it to not exist when it came up, perhaps this storm would lose power if some part of it were isolated from the rest by something that would provoke transporter interference itself. Add another layer of disruption, like putting it in a Faraday cage.
That might not be a bad idea. I'll have Commander Vibers work on some kind of modification to the deflector array to try and see if we can do that. In the meantime, I need you, the away team, to save as many lives as possible. Understood?
It's good.
Understood.
Captain from Bibazu's sit behind. Can I suggest we send down some pattern enhancers while we still can?
We'll transport some down. We will attempt to send down some pattern enhancers when we send you down on a site-to-site transport. In which case, who's the best to have the pattern enhancers? I think that might be Natala, or the boss himself.
The Tude just appears, just like, hello. Shut up,
Damn it,
Tude.
Jude.
Damn it, Tude.
Who basically wants the pattern enhancers?
I'm good with them.
I'll take one just if nobody else wants one. I've got a focus of transporters, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
let one of the science nerds take it.
In that case,
Transporters and replicators.
in that case, it makes a bit more sense for Nova to have it instead of Natala. So let's do that then. Okay, cool. So before you all leave, Annalisa just nods at you and says, "The time of testing is upon us. My followers and I will remain in our commune in the mountain. I wish you all the best. We do not want the deaths of so many people, but this is an abject lesson from God. We hope that everybody heeds it. The best of luck to you in your endeavors." Okay.
Can we get a message back to the ship as well to see whether we could potentially look at modulating to create a shield, to extending the ship's shields to the planet's surface?
One that can only work on one problem at a time, so you're going to have to choose what it is. Either disrupt the cloud or the other one.
Disrupt the cloud.
Okay. Off you go, and let's take you to... where is she? Commander Chahal. So, who wasn't here last time that we did this? It was...
Andrews and
Andrews
Nurse Bravo.
and Nurse Bravo, that's it. So let's take you guys to Commander Chahal's office. Okay. And as you arrive... Okay. the wind starts to seriously get up. You can hear it outside as you arrive. And you arrive in Commander Chahal's office, who seems rather alarmed to see you just transport in. Oh my, is everything alright?
No, unfortunately not. We have a serious situation developing. There is a storm with high speeds approaching the settlement. We need to try and evacuate, or at the very least get people into the best cover possible before the storm hits.
Good God. How long do we have?
Minutes.
One of the more secure areas and the largest place would probably be the spaceport boarding hall. But there are people scattered all over the place.
Are
Is
there
there any
any
sort of emergency
structures which
signal
are
that could be sent out, urging people to...
Yes. I have that tied into everybody. I can use it on my authority. I can do that now.
Does anybody have any structures which are likely to hold up worse than others?
Only those who are on the outlying parts. They're mostly the constructed shelters that you probably came across when you went looking for the voice of purity. I would ask you about them, but it seems we have more pressing matters. Okay, fine. I can start urging people to get to the spaceport for shelter, but we've got people on the outlying parts of the of this major part of the colony that are going to need to be helped, ushered in.
Have you prioritised getting everyone informed? And we prioritise getting those from the outskirts to the spaceport?
Yes, great. Yes, you do that, and I will start using my staff and I to move people into the spaceport to use it as a shelter. Okay. All right then. All right. So, whilst Commander Chahal is doing that,
How is she taking this? I assume not well.
well, she's rather alarmed. So, any of the others who were present when they first talked to Commander Chahal will know that this is one of those cushy jobs that you either get given as a punishment, or this is one of those posts that you retire to if you want an easy life. Yeah. So this is possibly the single worst thing that's ever happened here. Because, before now, vandalism was the worst thing that happened here. Okay, so you guys are going to have to proceed out on foot, which means you go out into the street. As you do, I am going to have Nurse Bravo and Dr. Bertram's medical tricorders start to beep insistently.
Okay, we're checking them out. What's it?
The storm front that's coming in is reading life forms in it.
Are they similar to the life forms we detected, like demons and angels and stuff?
They are very similar. In fact, they bear identical signatures to the demons.
Bloody hell. As soon as I get that, I'm gonna... Are we all outside?
One would imagine by this point you're all outside now, yes.
Yeah, that's it. Commander, that stormfront that's coming in is giving up identical life signals to the demons that we fought earlier.
Well,
if we need to get any more evidence that this is a manifestation of some kind.
Everything that we're encountering is some kind of psychic manifestation, a telepathic projection. That doesn't mean they don't do exactly the damage that we'd expect them to do otherwise.
I'm not worried about whether or not we can rely on them to do the damage, or if they're fake. I'm worried that if it's a manifestation, then it's not just a normal storefront. It may actually, instead of just passively natural disaster, it might be a natural disaster with a mind to deliberately seek out and harm vulnerable people.
So what if we took this pattern enhancer and launched it on a projectile into the storm before it got here to enhance the signal of a transport to start plucking some out, reduce the numbers?
It's an
I
idea.
don't know what they're aiming for. I'm sorry.
It
I
doesn't need
so
to
we know
hit
that-
anything, it just needs to be in the storm to enhance the readings to get a lock.
Get a lock on what?
I think he's
We
talking
know
about
that-
You
demons.
said there's
demon-
creatures inside it, yeah. We'll
The
just
demon that
literally
we
start plucking
detect
demons out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or transport.
Yeah, so he's basically talking about the one that you transported out. So, if I get the idea correctly, you're looking to maybe use the pattern enhancers as a way of trying to catch a load in a net and just beam them out?
Yeah,
Cool.
just literally try and reduce the numbers, weaken the storm before it gets it.
I didn't understand fully that you believe the creatures to be real, and the creatures, and you think the storm is made of the creatures. Okay, I completely missed that part.
Either it's made of them or it's a manifestation with the
Being caused
same.
by them is what I think.
Yeah. For all I know, it could be literally.
My
one-
assumption was that there are no creatures. The creatures are just like the storm created by the overall psychic presence of the planet.
Could be right. We probably won't know for sure until it hits. But it's basically we're probably going to need to treat this as both a natural disaster and a deliberate attack simultaneously.
Okay. So, unless there's anything else anybody wants to mention, take note of, plan.
Um,
Do have
so
one
to
other
encourage the
option.
Okay,
to
so
encourage
John
the
and
idea
Yat.
that it's to encourage that it's not necessarily made of creatures. The voice of God effect that you were seeing wasn't necessarily localized at all. I don't know that it was coming from the point you were looking at all. I think it might have just been all in everyone's heads. And effectively, it didn't. The only reason it looked like it was somewhere and sounded like it was coming from somewhere was because that's what makes sense to us.
And
But
yeah,
if we're picking up life readings inside of it, then we need to at least get rid of them so that
Yes.
they don't cause more damage on top of the storm itself.
Yes.
and Jan, you had something to say?
Yes, the other option is we know that for some reason, some unknown reason, presenting a holy symbol to them destroyed them. So
Holy
as
symbol, or is it the faith behind it?
Or neither, because all it really does is it proves to someone that something works. I think that was literally the purpose of the demons, was to show that these are things that you can banish using your faith. It was literally, you're thinking about it backwards. That basically, I think they were tests of faith, and it was the action of I am doing what you told me to do that gets rid of them.
All I
but
know
isn't
is
the pressing problem that they are approaching and that we need to get rid of them.
what we do know is whether or not we have faith, our weapons were able to harm and dissipate them, which means I believe we have to actually do everything we can within our talent, skills, and what we believe to be right to fight this.
I
storm
think
front.
Lieutenant Nova's correct that the most effective thing that we had to combat them, given a lack of the correct faith and at the correct moment, was the transporter signal.
Then should we spend the time we have working out a way to use that if we can?
I'm happy to dedicate my time to doing that, since
Okay.
I think,
would recommend that we try and also set up defensive positions. We want to fight them on as much as our terms as possible. It's not going to be easy.
No. My priority is to be both our group and any innocents that are caught up, patching up, healing, and trying to get them enough to actually make it to the spaceport shelter.
I think what we will need to do is maybe divide our attention slightly. There are still the civilians in the outlying areas which need to be gathered up.
Yeah.
Doctor, I think if you make any possible preparations in the shelter, that would be great. Lieutenant Natala can also
You want me to set
carry
up
on
a
with the
triage in the
scientific
shelter?
investigation. Yes.
Sorry, Commander, I didn't hear that.
Lieutenant Natala, you can carry on and coordinate with a scientific approach, using the pattern enhancers potentially as a weapon of some sort. I myself will go to the outlying areas and try and round up any of the people there who have difficulty in approaching or getting to the shelter. That leaves Ensign Bravo and Lieutenant Commander Andrews.
I'll assist with getting the triage set up.
You're a little quiet there, Davis. What was that?
I'll assist in getting the triage set up, Commander.
Okay. So the medical folks are looking to set up an easy place for people to get medical attention. The two sciences are probably going to work on the thing with setting up using pattern enhancers as catch nets, whereas that leaves the two commanders to try and help round people up and get them to safety. Am I about right there?
Yep.
Awesome. So,
feedback is welcome.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that's the command group doing what the command group needs to do.
Is that feedback for you? Feedback you wanted?
We're not going all Star Trek 4 yet. One day, maybe.
In our one's a simple enough role. Do you want to do the lead and I'll do the assist?
It would make more sense for Nova to be the lead on using the pattern enhancers, what with Nova's specialty with transporters and replicators. So yeah, this will be an insight plus science, because you're not modifying the pattern enhancers, you're just using them in a ready, easily deployable way to set them up as a catch net. So yeah, go ahead and
I can use my focus off transporters.
Indeedy do. So Shaun, you'll be the primary, and John, you can be the secondary. With one success already. I'm going to ask for at least one more, so you get it. Yeah, you attune them properly. The medical guys don't need any roles to set up because there's nothing to do at the moment. But when you get there, you are asked to help with shepherding people around as they start coming in, so that you can start allocating certain people to certain parts of the spaceport waiting area. Yeah. And so obviously the old and the infirm are going to need to be sat down comfortably. Everyone else will have to just take whatever spots they can find. In the meantime, Andrews and Commander Linares are going to have to go around looking for peoples. So, for the most part, people are pretty alarmed at what's going on, and therefore they're more than happy to follow what looks like people with official uniforms giving them official orders. So, as you start moving from the center of the colony towards its outlying parts, most people have already heard the announcement made by Commander Chahal and are running as fast as they can back towards the spaceport. But as you get further out, there are people who are a little bit later to the party and are trying to realizing that the storm is really, really close. So their best bet, rather than making the now rather perilous journey to the center of town where the spaceport is, because now the winds have picked up to the point where there's debris flying about, which means it's very dangerous going. As such, you encourage them instead to get inside. So you assist, the two commanders assist with herding people inside, urging them to lock the doors, barricade things, put stuff against the windows in case, in case debris comes through the windows. But as you do, you can definitely hear the howling and the growling of creatures getting closer, inexorably. And
We
yep,
encourage people not to go outside, not to let curiosity get the better of them.
okay.
Also
Even if they
barricade.
hear-
Yeah. Also to barricade doors and windows.
So what I'm going to do here, I think, because you've split the group.
Yeah. Not just split it into 2 parties. We have split it into many. It's 3 separate
Sorry.
parties. Yeah.
No, that's fine. What I'm going to do is... Where are we?
What's the worst that could happen? Oh, he went there.
I am going to have that before things got too bad, Lieutenant Bravo from security requested to be beamed back down. So he's going to assist. Let me just group people together here. So you're outside, and you're outside. The 2 science folks.
With an injury.
2 science folks are going to be doing their thing. So basically, Gareth and Navis, rather than have you guys sit on the sidelines, we're going to have you act as extra security, basically.
So when Latude turns up, he's like, "Hello, shut up, Latude.
Latude.
Not now. Not helping Latude."
So who can I?
Die.
Life. Don't talk to me about life.
Even with sort of like the omnipotent presence of God, Latude's still so miserable and nonchalant.
Let me see. Who can I use? Where was he? I just need a basic security type looking fella. We'll make him.
I was just about to have the
human.
second Lieutenant Bravo saying reporting on the double.
We are Bravo.
I think we've already established that the roles that the Bravos have, there's 1 in security, so we can't have another one unless he's. What was that? Sorry.
He's got security training.
Yeah, one of them could be a reservist.
Sorry, I interrupted you then, Navis.
You know
I
what?
almost want to see the Bravos facing off against the demons.
Nice. Let
We
me
have
make.
a demon storm. We have a Bravo.
Yeah, we have a Bravo. The Bravo bomb. Round 2.
This guy is going
Starts
to
off with a
be
Bravo bomb. Followed with the
Ensign
Nova Flex.
Harry Navis, because I'm feeling amused easily.
No, it's not. No, it's not Ensign. It's Ensign Kim Harry. Sorry, Lieutenant Kim Harry.
Let's see. I just need.
Is that one of is that one of Captain Jane Capaway's men?
I just need to find. Right, these are all characters from previously. There's Indira Chahal. There's Linaris Loss. Starfleet. Right, here we go. Gotcha.
I never wanted to be lieutenant. I was happy at Ensign.
Right, hopefully that'll carry over. Right. Let me just make sure that you've got permissions here. Right, Navis, can you check that this guy here, that you can move him, that you can access his character sheet and all that?
Just so you know, I'm still in Commander Charles' office.
Yes, I know, but you can take.
Oh.
You should be able to take charge of Lieutenant Bravo's security by here.
Right. Ah, right. Okay. The door was closed, so I literally couldn't see anyone.
Ah, right. Boop. All right. So, Davis, you can work him fine, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So, what we'll have is that the two sciences, Lieutenant Natala and Lieutenant Nova, have finished their modifications to the pattern enhancers, and as Commander Linares and the other members of security and Andrews, we're going to say that Ensign Harry Davis, or Harry, not Kim, is actually a member of security from Footfall itself, rather than from the Navis. We'll get around that way. And as you are patrolling the streets trying to look for outliers, for the most part you've found that people are just barricading themselves in their houses. But it's around about as the storm front hits in earnest, and you can hear the growling and snarling of creatures making their way through the streets. That's when you hear something you didn't expect to hear coming from a street not far from where you are. And you hear somebody bellowing, "Come to hearts! Kalis has willed that I shall be granted glorious victory today! In his name I shall strike you all down! Kapla!"
And you might not have
Can I
expected
just
it.
say, when
I
you say
absolutely
something we
did.
didn't expect to hear, I kind of disagree with that.
It was inevitable.
Most predictable thing ever.
So, yeah. You turn up, you follow the sound of battle, and eventually you make your way to a street that's been ruined somewhat. But you notice that in the middle of a group of slathering, snarling demons is a single Klingon who's holding his bat left high and is basically cheering for the demons to attack him.
I like how he's a Klingon.
Spellmaster.
Klingon. Yeah.
So I
That's
typed really fast and didn't pay attention. You know how you got those types of Klingons, I forget what they're called, the ones that don't have forehead ridges? There's actual name for them. So this is another
we,
one.
we don't talk about them unless you're talking about the original series, and then it's the ones where they muck themselves up with.
A virus, if I recall.
It was same as the eugenics.
Yeah, they tried mucking around with their own genetics and failed.
The Klingon cut
So-
is quite nasty, but it's no match for the Bravo bomb.
So what is the etiquette in helping a Klingon out when he's fighting to the death against a group of demons? I'm not sure.
Entirely acceptable. You could just attack things. It's fine, because as long as you're attacking things.
Well, I've got Matt. The Bravo I'm playing is the one that was injured earlier. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, but he had like 20 minutes to get himself into a medical
Bravo
bed.
says, well, if the Klingon asks me, I've got a good claim for vengeance. They hurt me, so I want to fight them back.
Well, there you go then.
Right.
On behalf of global security, this doesn't look like a police issue.
Oh god, this is like another Latude, man.
Do the demons look any different? Like, does proximity to a Klingon make them more like what the Klingons assume, like the beasts of
Yeah, what was the place called? Their equivalent of hell?
Overcore.
no,
No, Stovercore's the afterlife.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
whatever.
that one?
They look
Is it
similar.
Keval?
Yeah.
Alice?
No, Kalis is the warrior
The
who
Messiah.
killed the gods.
Is it like Melor?
Feklar of...
Feckle,
Yeah. The Valkyrie of.
the Valkyrie are the creatures.
In
Yeah,
either
basically, they look
case,
more like Valkyrie.
these
for
creatures
being-
look
for
exactly
being,
like the ones you met before.
Okay, so they're not being directly changed by people who are perceiving them. Okay.
We haven't established whether they look the same to all of us.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
true.
they do. They look the same as the ones you met before.
Yeah, but I mean, if we describe them to each other, do they look the same, or do we perceive them as the same?
Yeah.
He's been calling them kitties, so yes.
If you say that one over there's got red skin and horns and teeth, another person will say, yeah, they do. Well done. You used your eyes. Fantastic.
Good job.
No, but yeah, they do appear similar in appearance to the ones you met before, and you all see them as they present themselves here. So, with that in mind, we're going to have to start deciding who goes first. So, naturally, players go first, so who wants to be the first player character to act?
I
David
would
kind
like
of
to
wants to
find
rush
my
in, but
Well, it makes sense
As
for
long
a
as you're
I wanna
rushing
throw
in
my
with the
grenade.
intention of using the pattern enhancers, I'm happy with it. You know?
learn from column A, learn from column B.
So if Commander Linares, pardon me, goes first, then there'll be a demon. Who wants to go next?
I'll take that one.
Okay, Nova, where you at? Let's bring you up here. So let's move that demon to there. And oh, hang on. Pock. It's going to take a bit of fiddling, but we'll get
There's
there
13 things in the tracker and you're trying to use 8 numbers.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
It's not easy, but we'll manage somehow. Commander Lars, you go.
Manually set them. Reroll initiative so you can make it so it's...
We'll see how we do.
Yeah, make loss 13.
I can't
Well, just
actually
count it
manipulate the number, the initiative number, sadly. Once it's rolled, it's rolled. After Nova will come whom?
Double click on the initiative number.
I am, nothing's happening. It brings up the
I
character
think you
sheet.
can right click on the entry.
Aha,
No one else
reroll
is gonna
initiative.
say it.
Yes, I can. So who wants to go
or you
next,
can-
sorry?
You should be able to overtype it.
I'd say if no one else wants to claim the next one, then Bravo will lay the bomb down on these candy asses.
The Bravo bomb!
Ensign Davis will go back just after Bravo because if Starfleet security is doing something, I can't show up Colonial security.
Does Avis sound quiet to anybody else?
I can hear him fine.
It's General Davis. He's
Maybe
quiet.
I've just turned him down, okay. Oh, apparently
You
my...
guys-
Say something again, Davis. I need to make sure my levels are alright for you. There we go, thank you.
Down the
We
very
need-
model
we
of
need
the
to get him
moderated
angry.
general.
Davis, it's melting aluminum.
I think he missed an opportunity to talk about Moss, if I'm honest.
I can't, I'm not the doctor at the moment.
No, I meant Navis.
I like
You
it how
lost that
everyone else is like,
opportunity.
hey, we'll all go first, and the security chief's like, you know what, I'm going to let these guys shoot it out first. I'm going to come in at the end.
Hey, I've got a plan.
And it's as hot as this phaser
The
beam.
local security's gone.
It's as stupid as that.
As long as Starfleet goes first, I'll help put out when
Okay, so I've got Commander Linares, then Demon. Then Ensign Davis, then Demon. Then Nova, then Demon. Then Bravo, then Demon. Then Natala, then Demon. Then Andrews, then Demon. Yeah?
Don't forget Klingon.
And then it's killing at the end, but you know, he's an idiot, so...
He's at the end because he spent his first initiative yelling.
Yes, basically. So, here we go then. Commander Linares, what you
As
want to do?
as an interesting exercise, I shall use my fast action to say a quick prayer before I chuck my grenade.
Okay. Ah yes,
Yeah,
you
but,
brought pulse grenades, didn't you?
Thou shalt not
Yes,
count
I know.
4.
You have to
Neither
say it
count
with the
thou
right
three.
voice.
Unless thou then proceedest to 5.
So, what did we say that was before? That was going to be control plus security? Because it was a ranged thingamahoo?
Yes.
Thingamahoo. Actual technical term.
We shouldn't have EVA suits on us, should we?
No, that's probably a holdover from when you were on the Atlantis.
Alright, that's gone. I was just like, why do I have an EVA suit?
Because I'm
It would have been
lazy.
useful to store, maybe.
I don't have one of those.
It's because I'm lazy.
Apparently, I'm still carrying a party hat from the party.
Yeah, I didn't
Sounds
think
like
I'd take that away from you. Right, so, yeah.
Can I
Let me
apply
see.
my guerrilla tactics?
Yes, indeed, guerrilla tactics will apply here, since you are fighting in an urban environment.
Control security.
Difficulty. Oh, do you want to spend a momentum to re-roll that? Or do you want to succeed at cost?
Complications with grenades.
What? Go wrong? He forgot what was the number he counted to and counted to.
Because
I mean,
I'll wipe them all out, and you forgot there was a Klin there as well.
you used a grenade, so I automatically get one threat from you escalating the situation by using a grenade, but do you want to succeed at cost? Or do you want to spend a momentum to re-roll the dice?
Oh, tough choice. I don't know if anybody's got any strong feelings on this one.
My strong feeling is that one of us is going to need to momentum out of getting killed at some point.
I'll still
Yeah,
got 2 for
so-
doing that if you reroll.
Worst case
Nope.
scenario is Bravo jumps on top of it.
Okay.
I think yeah,
Bravo.
spend
the match.
spend the momentum this once, then we'll realise that unless we gain 2, this is literally our last use of momentum for anything other than not dying.
There's also giving threat to Matt.
It's too late for that one. We'll use the grenade.
If you could see the feed right now, you could see I'm
I'll
smiling.
I'm going to spend the momentum.
Okay. Spending momentum. So press the reroll results button to see if we get a different result.
Oh,
Wow! Okay.
Wow. It really wanted that complication.
Alright. So, I will give you the complication. Okay, so, Commander Linares pulls out the one of his pulse grenades and makes to throw it. As he does, a piece of debris, because the wind is coming from behind you, a piece of debris smacks into Commander Linares' back, making him fumble. The grenade goes off in a direction and explodes, which, of course, alerts the demons that you're here. And they seem very interested in the fact that you are here. I am now going to spend 2 threat to add a disadvantage to this situation because you are dealing with extraordinarily strong winds. So every attack that you make, every action that you make during this scene will be 1 degree more complicated, 1 degree more difficult due to the adverse weather conditions. So, thank you for that threat. Yeah.
you're welcome.
It's just like the Romulans when we ended up in a flipping blizzard. Now we've got winds. The only thing that can stop the Navis is strong weather.
That is a darn good point. I'm going to spend 2 more threat to add an ionization effect to the storm so that any transporter-related shenanigans are also 1 step more difficult to perform. Thanks for reminding me there, Webby. That was very considerate of you.
Don't mention the war.
Alright, so Linares, Commander Linares hurled a grenade, it went off, it drew attention. Now what do you want to do?
Well,
Squeak?
as my fast action, I did a quick prayer, so I don't know if that has any.
Well, there we go then, I suppose. You've got the strong par thing somewhere, don't you? You have an unwavering faith in the prophets. Whenever you attempt a task to resist being coerced or threatened. Okay. Tough. When you avoid an injury, the cost is 1 less. Cool. Resolute. Increase your maximum stress by 3. We've already got that. Exo. You can spend 3 momentum to let a character regain a point of momentum spent. So whenever another character is in communication with Commander Linares, you may spend 3 momentum immediately to let that character regain their point of spent momentum. Not sure how that works.
That would only work if people were tracking momentum individually.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't quite get that, but there we are. We'll take a better look into it later. But either way, yeah, Quiet Prayer, Hurl Grenade, yeah. It's probably all Commander Linares can do at this point. So, let's see what the demons do.
Are we getting any combat music, by the way, or are we just having winds?
Just having wind. Unless you want combat music.
Let's play Starfleet's national anthem.
Let's put some combat music on. Alright, I'll give you some combat music. Let's go for combat music. So, this is going to be daring plus
2 facts to make us all deafened by music.
Being part of the storm, the demons have no such hindrance. The one demon goes for the Klingon and hits, and ooh, look at those shiny dice. That was 3 successes, 2 effects, so I'm going to make that 5 with a knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's actually 4 because the Klingon has armor. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Really need to do more of.
Ensign Harry Davis, security. So, who's playing?
This looks like a shooting problem.
Yes, indeed. You've got phasers. Now, you can spend a quick action to charge your phaser to make it so that it inflicts the vicious quality, which will inflict extra damage, if you wish.
That sounds like a good plan.
Now, I assume you guys are still using the stun setting, right? Right.
You know what?
Otherwise.
Do you know what? I think we're aiming to kill on these.
I don't know, do we need to, because the stun set, we did use the stun settings earlier on the demons previously, and they did dissipate when they took a certain amount of stun damage.
I mean, yeah, they ceased to exist effectively once they took enough damage regardless.
Yeah.
Webby knows what I was up to there.
It's almost as if they don't know they're being stunned. They think they're being killed.
Well, that's not on us if they mess up being stunned.
Well, if they can't tell the difference between being stunned and being killed, then that's really their own fault, isn't it?
Yeah, it's their own fault. Yeah. Stupid demons.
So, hitting the button for shooting the phaser.
Right, so what you're going to need there is a control plus security. The character has got a focus with phasers, so you can check focus. This is going to be a... you're going to need 3 successes for this due to the adverse weather conditions. And you've nominated a target, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. 2 successes rather than the 3 that you needed.
Oh, what dice do I normally get?
That was 2 for normal, but you would have added hand phaser focus, which would have made it 1 to 5. So you should have got 3 successes there, actually. So that was actually a hit. So in order to roll damage, just click on the icon for the phaser that you used. I'm assuming you go in for the big one, the type 3.
And then you give the tick vicious, or
But
just
there's
if it does
5
stop.
effects, so there's the option of having Vicious deal extra damage 5 times there. So that's a whacking great big 10.
Should recruit this guy.
Have you ever
My
thought
hit.
about stuff?
My hits.
Have
So
you
that-
heard about Star Trek, Harry? We know a Harry Kim. He's just gone missing in the Badlands. He'd be good to be replaced.
Why have you gone Irish all of a sudden there?
I think you could make lieutenant before the end of the year.
This demon is attacking the Klingon, only gets 1 success and therefore fails.
But I only just got promoted from constable.
Nova.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and charge in wildly. I'm not sure how far I can move.
You can reach the first 2 demons pretty easily.
Yep. I want to target this guy up on the bridge and try and get the transporter to lock onto him and shift him the hell out of there.
Okay, so let's make this a... This is going to be a reason plus science, please.
Can I also activate my talent of testing theory?
Ooh. When you attempt a task using engineering or science, you may roll an additional d20, so long as you succeeded at a previous task covering that same scientific. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
You also have focus.
I do.
Four successes, so you gain momentum on that one. And, yeah.
As soon as I see it lock as well, I'm going to start chanting religious stuff about cats.
Which eliminates that particular one from the initiative step. So, Nova, well done. Which leaves us with Lieutenant Bravo, Security.
Well, I'm going to try focus fire on the demon enter Davis this weekend.
Okay.
Is it control versus
It's
security?
control and security. If you've got... He's got phases as a...
Phases.
Yep, as a focus, so...
Using the type 3, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, using focus. And here we go.
Give me 3 successes to hit this, you get
Ah.
1. It explodes off of a piece of debris nearby. The adverse weather conditions, of course, making it difficult to target. Did you use your quick action to put the vicious quality on the phaser?
I hadn't, because...
Okay, so you've got the ability to use your swift action now, your quick action now to move if you want, to reposition yourself.
I'm going to try and get between the demons and Nova.
Okay.
Ah! What's that? Why am I dragging 3 people?
If you click, hold and drag to draw a square on an empty
Right.
space, you'll deselect everybody and you can just select
Right,
yourself again.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So that was you. Funnily enough, it's this demon's turn next, so he's very keen to actually take a swipe at somebody who's just volunteered himself.
Bravo!
Bravo suddenly starts rooming cheesecake.
Cheesecake,
No
cheesecake,
successes. So the wounds seem to have made the demon swings, but Bravo is able to parry and dodge, dip, duck, dive, dodge, and dip. Natala's turn.
Lieutenant Natala will be attempting to make modifications on the pattern enhancer that Nova's directing at these creatures, basically to counteract the ion effects of the storm. So effectively, I'd like to aid in Nova's next action using the transporters.
Alrighty. So holding your action until, yeah, okay. Putting
That's
yourself in an
Lieutenant
advantage.
Bravo's prayer, by the way.
Yes, I gathered. This one had its attraction. It's now attracted to Commander Linares. Its attention was attracted towards Commander Linares. So
Flirt with it. It's the last thing they'll expect.
you are the XO, so it's kind of expected, actually. But the creature has 0 successes. So moving on to Commander Andrews. What would you like to do?
Well, yeah. Let's just go shooty at this demon that's coming to attack the XO. Shooty.
Okay. So
Or do I just run? Or do I just run up and slap it one?
up to you.
I'm gonna run in and slap it.
Okay, so that's daring plus security, and you get to add your focus of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Four successes, which means you gain a point of momentum there. So, yeah. That's going to be your unarmed strike. For damage. 5 successes, so that's... You can use one of them for extra damage and one of them for knockdown, or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is knocked on its butt.
Punch it with my right arm.
Yeah. I imagine at this point that Andrews is kind of specialised in, leading with the stronger metallic arm, so...
Haymaker with a right.
Yeah. So the left arm...
just a bluff and then that
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere.
So the left arm is mainly just for, jabs and raising somebody's
jab.
guard.
It's jab and then haymaker.
The Klingon is getting surrounded, but he's proving to be a match for these guys. And it's the Klingon's turn. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let the gods of the dice determine which demon he's going to go for. It's going to be the one who just came up to him. So, the Klingon. Daring, security. What's the Klingon doing? He's a bit besieged. He's trying his best, bless him, but he's being attacked from 3 different directions. So, round 2.
Oh, bless his little cotton socks.
Commander Linares.
Well, seeing as the demon in front of me has been knocked down, I shall switch to phaser type 3
Okay.
and try and shoot it.
Alrighty. Because it's now down on the floor, that will reduce the difficulty by 1, so you only need 2 again for this one.
The motivational speech right there.
In case anybody who's watching this can't see, it's down there in the corner. Try harder, do better. I am bravo! So, 2 successes means a hit. So, yeah. So, yeah, roll for damage. I'm going to assume, since he didn't move, that you are putting the vicious quality.
Yes.
Cool beans. 4 successes with 2 effects. That's a whopping 6. Very heavy shot, but it's still rolling. So the creature writhes around on the floor as it was knocked on its butt, and Commander Linares took the opportunity to shoot it point blank. The creature still seems fit and able. Well, not fit, but definitely able. You drew a weapon, you changed its course, you shot it, so that's pretty much all Commander Linares can do. Back to the demons. They're going to try and hurt the Klingon again. The demons aren't doing too well at all. Ensign Harry. What do you want to do? So
It works better when you're on mute.
So this one closest to you looks like it's being dealt with. The Klingon is being surrounded. There is one.
I can't let Starfleet be the one to take that one down. Not when I've caused that much damage already.
Oh, you kill-stealing bitch! Okay, so you want that one.
Yeah.
Same as before, with focus.
Same as before.
This is not the time to bring in personal demons.
Because you're trying... Now,
Situation.
you do have the option now, if you want, now that you've got 4 momentum, to spend a point of momentum to re-roll those results. Or do you want to leave be?
Oh. It's only one success there, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd need 3 successes to hit.
Yeah, so that's a below 5 on 1 dice. And...
So, do you want to spend the momentum to re-roll the results? Do you want to succeed at cost?
You need 1 dice between 1 and 5, and the other dice between 5 and 14 to do it.
I think it'd be better to hang on to it in case we need it.
Yeah.
Missed.
Yeah,
So that was a shot and a miss. Being very careful not to hit the Starfleet guys, but just letting them know you're there. You can use a quick action to move, though, if you want. Okay. So that's you done for now. Demon. This one is very much focused on its task of taking down the Klingon. And it is got 2 successes, which means that is a definite hit. Ooh, and 2 effects. So that's 5 and a knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Klingon has been knocked down. Okay, Nova.
Okay, I'm gonna go to here, which I think's about the same move as I did last time.
Okay.
Inform the thing on that I've got his back.
I'm alright with Natala being dragged along to this as she was aiding. So,
I guess we go for the bottom right hand corner. Actually, which one hit him last?
It's the one that's directly below is the one next one to act.
Yeah, so I'll hit the one that's bottom right hand corner.
okay.
I'll aim to. Yeah, with the power of our religion science.
Science is my religion. So, Natala was going to aid.
Mm-hmm. It's insight science, isn't it?
Yes, please. Same goes for
Are
Nova.
they reuse talents or are they single use? I don't know
They
if
can
get-
use them as many times as they apply. 1 success and 2 successes means that you get him. So you're teleporting him out, weren't you?
Yep.
And away.
Power of science compels you.
Alright, so you moved, you did that, you did very well. Bravo.
Gonna try and kill Steel. Am I able to use my phaser at close range?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Happy smile at the Klingon. Hey! That's how you do it. Two successes.
I thought, so I put focus on. Shouldn't the 5 be a success, or am I
Quite.
misinterpreting that?
Let's try that again. Control plus security. If we tag using focus, and I roll it. Of course, I get 2 rubbish rolls. Yeah, I'd be good. That was just me testing. So yeah, I'm good with that being 3 successes actually, because it should have been.
Thank you very much.
So roll for
damn,
damage.
I forgot to set it to sort of like the vicious on it. That's on me. Okay.
Well, you could use your quick action to do that before you actually attack, because you haven't moved.
Yeah, that's what I said. I did the attack, and it was only after I rolled I forgot my action.
Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. That's fine with that. You know.
Okay.
No effect, but 8 successes. So yeah, he's out.
There was an effect.
One. There's one effect.
Oh, I beg your pardon. There was an effect. So yeah. He down. And it just disappears. There's a slight smell of sulfur, but it just disappears into nothingness.
Bomb!
Natala, you kind of half-acted when you aided, but that was from the last turn, so...
Yeah, I think it's the same plan. Basically, what are we saying that takes? Is it going to be effectively kind of quick action to be doing that again and use my action to help up the Klingon from prone? Basically helping 2 people as my turn?
Because technically your helping Nova this turn was from last turn.
Yeah. Basically,
So-
I intend to help Nova again, but can I also help the Klingon up if I'm not moving?
One or the other.
Okay, I will help Nova again.
Okay. So, moving on. This guy was knocked down his butt. He's going to get up. And while he does, he's going to take a slash with his claws at Andrews. Rolling 1 success. I'm not rolling very well tonight, so here we are. I'm going to spend a threat to re-roll that, because I'm getting tired of missing. That's more like it.
I think it's entirely reasonable to spend some momentum to make it miss.
Well, yes. Do you want to spend 2 momentum to dodge out the way? Or are you alright with
I think it's
taking...
cool,
Go on, sorry.
because 5 successes equals a
Yeah,
wound.
well, actually, we need to spend 1 because I'm tough. Whenever you avoid an injury, the cost is decreased by 1, so minimum of 1. So we'll spend 1 momentum, please.
Alright. So as it leaps to its feet and goes to strike you, Andrews quite deftly puts her bionic arm forward to take the brunt of the blow, so she doesn't actually suffer any ill effects from it. So, nice. Now it's Andrews' turn.
Oh, Mr. D. Honestly.
Ungoofed.
Yeah.
Two successes is not a hit.
That's punching it, though, rather than being
Oh, good point.
an ion snob.
Good point. Sorry, I'm confusing one with the other. Punching it is a hit. Yes, pardon me.
Yeah.
5 successes and an effect. So, boom, boom, boom. You basically beat its butt into the floor. Upon which there's a sharp crack as you land as Andrew's aunt lands her bionic fist into its skull, and it then just erupts into flame and just disappears. Does Andrews want to move anywhere now that she's got a quick action remaining?
Is there the move limit, you say?
You can make it all the way to the Klingon if you want. Because travel tends to happen in zones, or kind of thing, and I'm happy with this being within reason 1 zone, so you can definitely make it to the Klingon. Right, so this, is it that one or that one? It's this one here. No, it's not, it's the other one. Right, so just seeing Nova arrive, this demon is going to take a swipe at Nova. And succeed. Unless, of course, Nova wants to spend 2 momentum to dive out the way. No?
Or are we allowed to see how much damage it rolls first, or not?
Yes. Okay. 3 hits and a knockdown.
Take that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 stress and a knockdown, which is going to make any transporter-related chicanery a little more difficult. The Klingon is going to definitely leap to his feet. And is going to have a go at the one who knocked him down.
Change places.
But a bit of debris gets in his face, which knocks his aim off. Oh, that's not good. I have lost my connection to the server. Excuse me, guys, while I log out and come back in.
That's probably going to dump all of us out as well. We'll see.
It might. I don't...
Rearrange all the pawns on the table.
There
Don't
was only
you
one
dare!
The rest was standing on their heads, weren't they?
I get the feeling that I might need to kick you all, because if it's lost my session, it might think that I'm... No,
No,
it's
you're
fine.
not in. You're not shown in the list.
Excellent. Let's come back in. Whittled them down to 2 demons.
Put in here.
Okay. Where did we get to? Klingon. Which means the Klingon needed 2 successes, he got 1, so we're back to Commander Linares.
I shall do.
You've already tuned your weapon, so...
But my shooting has been pretty poor. Under these conditions, I think I am going to run up for some hand-to-hand combat.
Alrighty.
Or if I can't attack this turn, at least I'll be...
I'm fine with letting you attack hand to hand.
Let's
Daring plus security. One success. Well, the usual applies. Spend momentum to re-roll, or don't.
I think I'll let it stand.
Let it
We
stand.
might need that momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Ensign Harry Davis.
Well, retribution for those kill stealers. Shoot Bravo in the back. Just rip off your human face, demon. We know what your disguise will be.
What a demon haste turn.
Quick action to move forward so I can get a clear shot.
Mm-hmm.
So a better shot is probably about there.
Alright.
Yeah, good shot there. And then I think it's needed to shoot the bugger.
Righty hosey.
I can't use more than 2 dice, can I?
You can buy extra dice using momentum.
Or threat.
Right.
Or you can give me threat and you can buy momentum that way. But
Or you
3
could just
successes
roll
means you hit. So roll for damage. Quel damage. Apologies to everybody who actually speaks French, including the French. That was just one. 8 with 2 effects. My God. Waboom!
He's broken in half.
Wonder
This is
Navis
cute.
is thinking about the gun range and how it seems Starfleet needs to improve its training.
Quite.
Local security definitely have the booting when it comes to training on the.
This
I
is when
think
Ensign
you'll find
Davis
I've killed
reveals.
two.
Yeah. Ensign Davis reveals he's a Satanist at this point. He's just like, Hail Satan!
Well, actually, Satanists don't worship Satan, funnily
No,
enough.
they don't. No, they don't. Yeah.
I never did. We never did check whether this guy was ex-maker.
Sex fucking Hutchinson.
Nova.
So we'll go for the bottom one.
You want to stand up first, probably.
Unless you want to kick his shins out.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to transport him away, so do
Yeah.
it on my back.
Right, I shall help.
Alright, so same as before, but the difficulty is up by 1 from being in a very awkward position. So we're looking at
I
it.
love it how you are just lying on the just basically pointing a transport buffer at them and going pop.
So, somehow Nova's going to have to get 4 successes all by herself. Well, my God, look at that!
And momentum.
And a point of momentum. Wow! Well, just for that, off he goes. Well, blimey, you didn't. Good grief! Nova's like a. Nova's like the MVP.
When it comes to demons, she binds them with science.
She'll just casually stand up now and dust off the lab curtain.
Yeah, blimey. Dusting herself off, going, what? Twerk nothing. Right, Lieutenant Bravo. Finish him.
Finish you.
The
The Bravo bomb. The Bravo bomb.
Try and finish him off with the Bravo bombs. Right, using hand phases as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
And... Ah, damn
2
it.
successes, unless you want to spend one of those points of momentum you just earned.
I don't think it's worth it at this point. Because I'm assuming that these aren't the only demons in the storm. We'll probably want to save some momentum.
Okay. In that case, that was definitely a... Whoop! Lieutenant Andrews just barely got missed there. Natala. Natala. You assisted Nova again, so...
At this stage, is it better just to... And does the Klingon have any other obvious weapons on him other than the main battle?
He's got his ductile dagger.
Yeah? I mean, I could basically grab
Lift
that,
that.
and plunge it into the demon.
Nice. All right. Let me
Yes.
grab.
Let's rob the Klingon. That's going to go down well, isn't it?
I can't drag it from one character to another, so I'm just going to have to take it out from the usual equipment list. Klingon
You're
weapon.
already upset that like a tiny beta side's just come up, smiled at him and got rid of 2 of his enemies.
Right. So this is going to be a daring plus security job.
Possibly a fencing onto this one then?
Ooh, fencing with a dagger. It depends what fencing. We haven't established what variety of fencing.
No,
Are we
we have
talking
not.
the single foil
If
fencing?
it's fairly rapier, then...
All right.
it's
I'll let this
It's
go.
a real stretch on that one.
Yeah.
I'll let this go. But fencing is fencing, so
No,
okay.
Lieutenant Natala actually likes to build fences. That's what her trait is. She builds
Why
a
would a
fence
Denobulan
round
like to
Dr.
build
Moss's
fences?
Gardens.
Okay.
Shot.
It was a wild swing and a miss. The weight is off. It's not long enough. Andrews.
Wow,
Andrew's
it's been
finish
working
it.
so well. Yeah.
Finish it.
Oh, that was nearly a 20.
Thankfully not, but only one success. Do you want to spend momentum to reroll to finish the last one off?
No, I'm not kill stealer.
Alright,
Gotta
it's up
give
to the
the Klingon
Klingon
some
then.
credit.
Yeah, we've got to let the Klingon feel like helping.
Unless, of course, I do
Going on.
that.
Klingon like faces the bat left and stabs himself in the stomach.
Let's go stab one of the ones around him. Probably me.
He notices that his duck targ went missing, snarls at Natala, takes his eye off the ball and gets hit in the head with a piece of debris and just falls down unconscious. With a great big gash in the side of his head. And we come around to the commander. Well, give it your best shot, sir.
I don't think there's anything I can do with my fast action to assist with the attack, so...
Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. There's many of you and only one of him. Let's assume that you basically dogpile the thing until it stops moving.
No, it's hitting his finisher, the Loz in space.
The steel chair. Just grabbed one out of the debris and just smacked it.
So you eventually down the creature and it disappears into nothingness. But now, of course, you have an unconscious Klingon that you're going to have to drag somewhere. Now, I am going to ask for... let me see. Can I get Lieutenant Natala to give me a control plus medicine check with the tricorder?
He dead. You just don't know it yet. He dead.
I think it could be important to reroll. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Alright, reroll. Momentum spent. Reroll. 2 successes, yes. You are picking up signs of other life forms nearby, humanoid, mostly human. They appear to have all secluded themselves in a nearby shop. This would probably make a very good place to barricade yourselves in because you're also reading a load of demon life forms closing in on your position.
Pick the Klingon up, he can redeem himself still.
So let me just group you all together so I can take you as a group to the next location.
We have a spare.
Red shirt.
Signal booster. Pattern enhancer. That's what I'm looking for.
The only one we brought down is the one you got.
I thought we took 2.
You usually have 3 pattern enhancers to a set.
So in theory, I could have left one there, but
Yeah. So, you eventually come across what looks like a shop, and what you find is the equivalent of a van, like a delivery vehicle, is parked next to a rear kind of delivery entrance. A number of crates and boxes have been stacked up as a makeshift wall, and when you get there, a number of people are waving at you quickly to beckon you over the barricade so you can get into safety. One of you will have the Klingon draped over your shoulders, and Klingons are heavy, so it's not easy going. But you manage to get over the barricade and can start assisting as the guys who have booked themselves in here are starting to grab anything they can to start stacking atop that makeshift wall that's being constructed. There are others in here. There's you can hear the sound of a young child crying as she and her, what you imagine is her mother, are kind of sequestered off in a corner. But you can also hear the sound of other people further into the shop as there's people yelling to basically find anything that can be used as a barricade. So, What would you like to do?
Demons like attacking.
The demons are trying to get in, yes. At the moment, they're kind of pounding on the barricades and they're looking to try and find any way in.
Okay. Are the barricades blocking our shots, like at this moment?
No, you can shoot around them or through gaps in between the crates and boxes and stuff.
Right.
How many grenades did I get? No, I've thrown 2 so far.
You've probably got 1 left at least. Because a bandolier would usually have about 3, I would reckon, for ease of carry. But we can assume that you've got enough for the mission at hand.
Well, I guess this is as good a time as any to throw a grenade unless I get it wrong.
Okay. So you're now in a bit of shelter, so I can consider the weather-related disadvantage to be waived for as long as you're here, undercover, because you're not subject to the effects of the storm as much in here. So this will be a difficulty. You'll need 2 successes for this.
Ooh, I realise I can aim.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so I'll aim. As my minor action, I'll aim.
Which drops it to 1.
It's gonna be...
So that means that all this time he was just lobbing them freehand.
Yeet!
Oh, the grenade, should get everything.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, control plus security. 2 successes, which means you got 1 over what you needed. Which means kaboom! It goes on to take on the demons that are trying to get into the rear barricade. Okay, so roll them damage. 6 and 6 effect. Wow! Pulse grenades. What's the dealio with those guys? Opportunity. Escalation. 4 damage. Area effect, grenade, and charge. Okay, so that's going to be a whacking great big 12. I'm going to say there. So, ooh, blimey. So a massive explosion goes off as Commander Linares picks his spot and just rolls the grenade out, knowing that the demons will catch the entirety of the pulse, and the crates and the boxes shake with the explosion, but the demons are definitely hurt. While this is going on, what are the rest of you doing?
So I've gone further in, and I'm going to call for anybody that can't fight to gather around me, and I'm going to try and use the pattern enhancer to get them either to safety in the transport them like sideways into the ship hangar with the rest of them, or up to the ship itself.
A site-to-site transport.
Easier.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, get all of the non-combatants out of here and somewhere safe.
Okay.
Because I can see there's a child at least at the bottom.
So you might want to do this as a thing to get everybody out, not just the non-coms.
Once the 3 pattern enhancers are set up in an area, that basically makes effectively a transporter pad. So whoever can get to it can get out.
I'm kind of working on the impression that since the commander attacked, we're looking at fighting, but unless I'm being ordered otherwise, that'd be my assumption. So it'd just be the non-coms I would have focused on.
Well, the thing is that once you set up the 3 pattern enhancers, that's basically a transporter pad, which just gives us an extra option.
So you may as well see if you can get everybody out. I mean, other people can aid in this, like Natala and at least 1, maybe 2 others.
Even if we are fighting, it'll basically just give us a place to retreat to.
I'll put the question to the commander then. Does the commander want us all to go out, or is he looking at defending this location?
Well, I don't think defending location is a lasting solution. We don't know how many are going to attack us. I think fighting withdrawal is the best option.
So escape
So
then.
we to get everybody out. Yeah.
Okay, so
Brilliant first.
time to get out.
Yeah, I'll be laying out covering fire while Commander Loss is yeeting grenade.
Yep, okay.
Bravo will go this way, basically be out cover.
Help with cover fire as well. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of going sort of like this way and laying out cover fire in case they burst in anywhere through here.
Okay, cool. 4 successes with 1 over what you needed. Well done. So, with everybody providing covering fire, people fall back to group around the pattern enhancers that Nova puts down. Nova has arranged them and modified them. And yeah, out you go. So I'm going to stop the combat music. So what?
We lost one of our main weapons against the demons now.
When you eventually all manage to transport to the hangar, for lack of a better word, the reception area of the starport, you are met with lots of very frightened people. Dr. Bertram and Nurse Bravo were there as well. Thankfully, not many people seem to have suffered many injuries, but outside the spaceport's windows and doors, you can see there are demons clamoring to get in. And as you all get ready to... sorry, what was that, John?
We can communicate our experiences using the transporters on the demons further to Vibers for his larger version.
Okay. But yep, you communicate this. It's a bit the comms are a bit crackly, but Vibers receives it. As you watch and get ready to defend, you then notice something happens outside as these creatures made of light with fiery wings start descending out of the sky and start fighting the demons. The angels and the demons start to really rip and tear into one another. It's a very brutal affair. But eventually the battle outside stops and the storm subsides. And you're left with just
Did we see?
murmurs. Did you see what, sorry?
Did we see some of the angels get destroyed as well?
Yes.
So it wasn't just.
It wasn't a one-sided fight now. Amongst the people inside of amongst the people inside the shelter is of course Commander Chahal herself. Can I get everybody to give me... that's a good point, actually. Let me get you to where you've all got your primary characters. We'll go to the map for Commander Chahal's office. So we've got all your primary characters, because it's the primary characters that I would like to make this role, rather than the... as in, the characters you were originally controlling, rather than the extras that we threw in there. So let's remove Bravo Security and bring back Bravo Medical and the doc. So can I get everybody to give me control plus command, please? Except for the telepaths and the empaths, you don't have to.
Would a focus like
You should-
composure apply?
Not for this. Not for this particular one. So
Any
just-
focuses on that role?
Not really,
Survival
no.
training? Stuff you both will. Okay, cool.
Turn the crowd down a bit because they're not quite that loud. Let me see. Insight plus science, control plus command. One success, but complication. So, Dr. Bertram is too busy paying attention to making sure, going around and making sure everybody hasn't got any lasting injuries. Natala very focused on her tricorder readings. Commander Linares
Yeah,
also...
Natala's in the tank trying to figure all of this out.
Commander Linares also trying to gather his wits together, trying to focus on what to do next. Meanwhile, Andrews definitely feels for these powerful waves of frustration and despair, and this is definitely echoed in the telepaths and the empaths. So that's Bravo and Nova. These are definite waves that are coming off, and it's kind of replaced the feeling of divine peace and love. This was you were originally getting this kind of sensation from the angels and the demons, but now you're just getting it kind of from, well, nowhere and everywhere. In fact, since you are making that that assessment, Natala, I'm going to ask for Lieutenant Natala to call up a sensor scan from the ship to, because you've definitely got a very big burst of the energy signature that you've been seeing a lot of.
Sensors science?
So yes, please. And I'm actually, for expediency's sake, I'll do the ship.
I've got it.
You got it as well? So the ship will be assisting with sensors and science. So that's one success already from the Navis. So insight and science from Natala, please. And you can include your focus of sensors. For this.
I didn't click my focus.
Okay, so that's 3 successes, 4 successes. Cool. So that gains you momentum. Throughout the entire debacle with the demons and then the angels and the demons, Natala's tricorder was taking readings, as was the Navis up in orbit, and when the storm occurred and the angels manifested, the Navis's sensors noticed a bloom of energy emitting from a very specific point on the planet that hadn't been noticed before. Upon asking about what might be there, you're told by Commander Chahal that there's a mountain range at those coordinates that many people like to try and climb, and it's not an easy go, but people say they can even feel closer to God on the top of that mountain, such that they've actually set up some kind of shrine there. So what would you like to do?
I suppose we should head towards this mountain and check it out.
So, let me grab all of y'all.
Do we? I think perhaps we can ask the Navis to send a team down to the planet. There might be further injured personnel.
Yes, now that the storm is
So that
gone,
is-
they've got no problems whatsoever sending down additional security and medical teams. Now, I am going to, because of the time we have remaining, I am going to speed us on, where you use the Navis's transporters to get you up to the mountaintop. And you do indeed find what looks like a shrine, almost, built at the lip of the top of this really steep mountain.
Can we also assume that Nova's gotten a fresh set of pattern enhancers, just in case?
Okay, I'm alright with that.
I can't see me on there.
Okay, let me see, is he underneath?
No, not under me.
Okay, I will grab from somewhere else and bring him over. Maybe, I wondered if I'd managed to successfully select the dock. Evidently I did.
I got left behind because people didn't want to hear about mountain moth.
Yeah. We made him get a separate transport just in case he spoke about it on the journey, which was all of 0.3 seconds.
And as you're approaching, something happens.
I am the Lord thy God. What would thou wish to know, supplicants?
Why did you attack?
Judgment was due. It is the way of your beliefs. God must punish those who do not follow the righteous path.
Shouldn't God also be merciful?
We are merciful. We sent messengers to tell you of what was to come if you did not achieve harmony. What just occurred in the storm was a taste of that judgment to come. This is expected, no?
All you really want is peace and quiet. If we can find a way to give you that.
Why do you say this?
Because my belief, my most deeply held belief, is the search for truth.
Nova and Bravo. Here, in the presence of this, whatever it is, the first thing you felt was a magnification of that kind of divine feeling you've been getting. But the moment that Natala mentioned, we'll give, we want to give you peace, you got an overwhelming sense of confusion. Like, especially Bravo, the telepath, getting the impression of multiple voices all talking at once, and an overarching consciousness doing its best to try and sort out what's being said.
So is it feeling like this has got more than one thought on what was said? at the same time.
Give me insight plus command, please.
Okay, I'll find out those. This is good.
Because of your empathic ability. And you can always buy more with momentum. Do you want
I
to
want to buy a couple of dice for this one.
Yeah, do you want to do that again, but buy some more dice with momentum?
Can I assist with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can assist. Again, insight plus command.
2.
You want to buy 2, do you?
I
Makes
think 2
sense.
sounds good if we've got someone.
That will
assisting as
cost
well.
you 3 momentum to buy 2 extra.
Well, that's fine. Spend it.
And you'll also get Lieutenant Bravo, Nurse Bravo assisting. So let's get Nurse Bravo's assist first. Oh, you've got 3 successes, and get the assist from Bravo. Ah.
That works.
Do you want to spend a point of momentum to re-roll that complication? Just that 20?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'll spend a moment.
It's up to you. You don't, but... Okay.
I've learned my lesson. When someone says, "Are you sure?" the answer is, "Yeah, no." Roll
Are you sure you
again.
want to piss off God?
All right. So
Why
that
does
one.
God need
So
a
now you got 2.
starship?
Now you got 2 successes. Okay. So the impression
My God.
that both Bravo and Nova are getting is, amidst all this noise, there's a singular consciousness trying its best to sort out which voices to listen to. And seeing as you got 3 successes with 1 extra, which will net you a point of momentum. Yeah, like hearing a voice in a crowded room, but with those successes, yeah, I'm alright for giving you this one. You get the feeling of a consciousness underneath all of this, a very large consciousness that's listening to all of these voices, trying to decide which one's the truth and also which one is it. So it appears to be very confused as to who and what it really is.
It's trying to be every god that people are bringing here.
Yeah. So
As
basically,
a medical person who's also betazoid, does this sound like some sort of mental condition some betazoids would have with telepathy going weird?
Think of it more from the standpoint of a betazoid with a telepathic betazoid with amnesia who suddenly wakes up and has all these voices chattering at it,
And doesn't know they're not it.
and it doesn't know who it is, and all these people are giving it different information as to who it is. Does that make any sense?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Basically, can we theorize a way of making a psychic Faraday cage and basically locking it around this location so that this mountaintop never gets any psychic input from outside?
The only issue you would have from that is surely you lock away everyone else's understanding of it.
Well, unless they
easiest
come
thing-
here.
The
They'd have to actually
easiest-
come and be here.
You lock everyone else's understanding of it out, then surely what's left is it.
But at the same time, it doesn't allow it to choose its own thing. My understanding of this is that we should be encouraging it to choose its own individuality, not listen to the voices of the influences around it.
Can I also
we
get...
also
Gone.
we have to be careful we're not contravening the Prime Direct. We don't
Yes.
know how this entity evolves, and we might, if we just build the cage, we might be interfering with its evolution.
So-
Can't just teach it to meditate.
So, yeah, basically, Dr. Bertram and Nurse Bravo, especially Nurse Bravo being a telepath, it seems like this is definitely a life form.
Yeah, Dr. Bravo's currently theorising, what if the planet itself in some strange nebulous way is alive, and all the people who've been coming here because they felt the presence have assigned it to whatever they consider to be the divine, and it's almost like if it does have like a telepathic and empathic presence, like the Betazoids have said, it could literally be over time. It's all like so many voices kind of mingling with itself as these impressions sort of focus on it, worship it, focus on it, try to come to this point as a pilgrimage. It's almost like it's given an entire world schizophrenia. That's my opinion, anyway.
Less schizophrenia, more...
It's,
more like, who do you want me to be? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
We ask it if it's able to focus on a single mind.
I
Can it has answered your questions.
I like to hear other voices. It gives me company. I'm not alone if I hear them.
But at the same time, you shouldn't allow them to dictate who you are.
So, I am not God.
No.
Who am I? What
Well,
am I?
that's a question. That is a question that all sentient beings should be asking themselves.
What do you want to be?
At peace. I want to be at peace.
Then why not become a god of peace? Why not bring peace rather than the destruction of the demons?
That's going down the wrong line.
Yeah, you're going a very
So
different route there.
God.
No.
You are a being of great power that many would mistake for a god. It is a difficulty of language.
What should I do?
It is
Education.
important
Education.
for your,
Education.
yeah. It is important for yourself that you have a strong understanding of yourself, that you have a strong idea of who you are and who you want to be before you let your mind touch the minds of others.
Can you help me?
We will try.
Okay. Now this is where I'm going to start wrapping it up a little bit because we have reached that time. So unless there was anything anybody else wanted to say they were going to do at this specific moment. No? Okay.
Well,
go on.
I'd just like to ask it, I guess, one more
Yeah.
question.
Yep.
Is there a way for us to provide you with information that does not involve you reading it from the minds of people?
I can only sense through my mind to their minds. But I can
create as well. I created the angels. I created the demons. I created the weather. I can create from myself. If you wish to show me, then I can create eyes to see.
You can make a person to experience things that you would then later absorb back into yourself.
Yes. Yes, I could. Yes.
Okay. Anything else? All right then. In that case, yes. Well, the question I have to ask now is, what news do you tell everybody else back on Footfall? Do you tell them that their god is real? Do you tell them that the planet's actually a life form? Do you tell them to just stop with the religion thing to give it peace? What do you want to do?
No matter what we say, it will. People will reject it
If you're
because
taking
of.
over whether she's going to tell the truth.
Well, yeah, there is an absolute truth here which can be shared.
But
It's just a
people
matter
will
of how you
choose-
advertise that.
Yeah, people will choose to ignore it if it doesn't fit with their beliefs of religion, because religion.
I think we still have a
We have a duty. We have a
duty to put it
duty.
out there.
Yeah, we have a duty to reveal the truth of the situation, and I would advise that it's actually Starfleet intelligence that it's provided to initially, so they can make the decision on whether to classify the planet as an area of significance, etc. If it becomes an isolated place, it will obviously cause frustrations for many that go, "Oh, the Federation denying species from accessing God, etc."
Davis, you were going to say something?
It's a species that wants company as well.
Can we simplify what we tell the locals? So we don't need to tell them all this. We can just tell them that mountain is a dangerous place at the moment because it affects your head a bit. Stay away from there, and Starfleet, medical, science, or intelligence will be sending someone to deal with this shortly.
Very temporarily that might work, but that's not really.
You will also get individuals being curious enough to climb the mountain to see why it is dangerous.
Okay, we tell them it's speak next door.
I mean, the truth is probably more effective than that. It's just a matter of how much truth.
Okay, so what do people want? What does everybody in the group think that they want to do? I mean, Gareth, you've been quite quiet so far. What do you think?
Honestly, I think the Dr. Bertram is trying to sort of work out how it works. He kind of thinks that there needs to be people. He thinks the only real solution is people need to actually treat this world like a person and not like a phenomenon or a deity or a resource or something else. They basically, I think the word, what I'm trying to think is a lot, when you look at it from an outsider's point of view, people coming in, taking what they want and actually sort of like thinking and treating and pushing their divine faith agendas on it, it's kind of like a toxic relationship. The entity has indicated it does what company, but all these people forcing their own beliefs on it is hurting it. I think basically we need to get some the equivalent of xenopsychologists in to actually talk to this creature and actually find out what its needs are, what its desires are, and work out how to actually create a plan from there. My personal thing is to get a team in, and really we should evacuate the planet of people outside that team until we can work out how best to proceed for the planet to bring in company and people in. to interact with it for a mutually beneficial relationship.
Okay.
Because basically, yeah, it's complicated, but I don't think there's a simple answer.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to summarize it in writing because it's difficult to say out loud. Like, here's what I've got so far. The divine feeling comes from a powerful being, be it divine or not. That being is a living thing which deserves care rather than just worship. Those who come to Footfall should leave their beliefs outside and enjoy it for what it is, rather than for what they wish it to be.
Nice. Jan, what are you going to say?
I'm a bit of a realist here, i.e. pessimist. I agree with the Doctor in that great care should be taken in what this entity is exposed to when it comes to human nature and human thoughts. Well, not just human, but
Overall, yeah.
all the species, thoughts and nature. And it should be insulated against a lot of it, but it still needs stimulation. Yeah, it's a that's a very tough call, but I think limited exposure to selected consciousnesses.
Yeah, I got you. All right, Shaun, what do you think?
I think Nova would just literally go for the whole truth and tell them exactly what it is. That they were doing it harm by bringing it religion and confusion, and that essentially all of that triggered the attacks and the damage from the Voices of Purity, who again misconstrued its messages. She's just not going to lie about anything because it's not in her nature.
Yeah, the only problem with saying that is that it then forces that people cults form, going, well, we can steal this creature to make it become our god. This is why Nova's not allowed to make the executive decisions.
She's sent back to the ship and put on the noise deck.
So, Webby, your thoughts?
I think, yeah, we have to reveal some information about it. Revealing too much has the repercussion, as just said, to create conflict. But it's also a case of, because it's already so rooted, trying to persuade people to part with their faith is going to be a very difficult task, and how the Federation manages it is going to be very difficult. Ultimately, I think we should reveal that the planet is sentient, but not
Specify that the detail that the religions were informing the creature's decisions.
Yeah. That the conflict, like John said, the conflict of religions that are being thrown around on the planet are what is causing distress and potential destruction of it. And if people are allowed to continue to openly promote their faiths on this planet, they will potentially destroy it so that no one will be able to enjoy it in the future. I think that's the best kind of middle ground.
Davis?
One of the things that come to mind at this point, from Nevis' point of view, is it's very hard to have faith in a government. So why don't we just say we have a treaty with it and see if that solves the faith problem temporarily while it's handed over to Federation higher ups to
establish it as a state because it's a planet.
State, powerful being. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, it's the difference between a territory and a civilian. Albeit a planet-sized civilian.
Right, okay. So we have encountered natives of the planet.
Actually, this technically counts as first contact.
Yes, precisely. So, because it's a first contact situation of a native of the planet, is that Federation protocol will take precedence, and that the Federation is acknowledging first contact protocols and initiating a withdrawal of all personnel would be the best route forward.
That's already something that should be written down somewhere as standard procedures, so
Yes.
all the
We don't have
officials
to
already know what to do.
Okay. So
We don't have to tell the general populace what the native species is, but we can.
They can
confirm
assume it's the demons
attacks-
if they want.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm reading the general consensus here, is that the population of the colonists are going to be given a reason, not necessarily the truth, to be evacuated from the planet, so that then Federation higher-ups can come in and basically initiate first contact protocols.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, we could. Yeah, we don't actually need to. Yeah, no versus.
Even just the vaguest mention that this is a first contact situation is enough to get the various allied people from various cultures off of this planet.
All right.
Because I think the various accords should establish that this is a first contact situation. Everybody off.
All right then.
There is a danger that this entity could be weaponized.
So do you want knowledge of it getting public? Very good point.
No.
Imagine what the Romulans or Cardassians would do if they heard about something like this.
Quote poetry at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he's from the Corps of Engineers.
All right. So that's what happens. You guys beam back to the Navis, and the Navis sends word back to Starfleet Command and the Federation Council to let them know of the situation, but also with little tags on the message saying, your eyes only kind of thing. Keep it under your hat. And the Navis are around to help with as other ships arrive from the Starfleet, from the Federation Diplomatic Corps, to start making first contact protocols, which of course confuses the populace, as they were pretty sure that there were no native creatures, but now they're hearing there were, and Lieutenant Natala's...
The demons that attacked the colony are native. That's not technically lying.
Yep, so that's a good enough reason to get them off planet. What happens from here? Well, the Navis isn't sure, but of course the possibilities are literally massive. Is this the only one of its kind? How do you now treat a planet-sized entity? Is it still classified as a planet? Is it classified as a singular life form? Does it now have its own rights?
If it created a complex enough life form, could that life form potentially join Starfleet? And if so,
what do you do then?
Could a Starfleet member, could a Federation member world be a Starfleet member?
There are lots of very interesting questions that arise from this situation.
And I think because it makes a fairly good sort of like bookend, Bertram's sort of like personal log will sort of like muse about the possibility of worlds literally evolving their own sentience right back to the beginning, like hundreds of millions of years ago, maybe even as part as the first algae and moss evolved on the planet.
And you don't know, do you? That might be it. It was psychic moss all along.
And you all called me mad!
Well, I'm going to call the stream at this particular point, because we have run over, but it was well worth it, because it was a great ending there. So thank you everybody who came to watch the stream, and I hope everybody who partook and watched enjoyed it. And we'll see what happens next week on the Navis.